As everyone knows, you can have either 100 million yuan or a woman who loves you, but not both. But I was different. So, when my childhood sweetheart and a wealthy heiress both pursued me, I chose the heiress. When my childhood sweetheart found out, she angrily warned me, "Don't look down on a young man just because he's poor. Fang's you. One day, I'll make you regret this." 6 years later, she was driving a luxury car with a handsome man beside her when she ran into me selling sausages by the roadside. Well, if it isn't Fang's you who latched onto a rich woman, how did you end up selling sausages? Don't tell me the Shen family went bankrupt and your girlfriend can't support you anymore. It's alright. I'll help you out. Give me two. Nearby, Shen Buyu, the target of her sarcasm, calmly fished a starched sausage out of the fryer. Who is this? The moment she said that, Zhaoyao's face turned livid. What do you mean? Are you pretending not to know me? I held back a laugh and explained. Zhaoyao, your college roommate. The man standing beside Zhaoyao, still holding the sausages, looked completely lost. Yao, you know them. Nothing. Just an old acquaintance. Go wait in the car. Following Zhaoyao's smug gaze, I looked up at the car parked by the roadside. Fang's you, it seems your taste isn't that great. You dumped me back then. For the richer Shen Buyu. Do you regret it now? I was speechless. That comes to 5 yuan. Don't forget to pay. My boyfriend loves these. Fry to more. I'll help boost your sales. I really wanted to tell her to get lost. Just then, Shen Buyu calmly patted my shoulder and moved me aside. Then, with remarkable patience, she fried several more sausages, put them in a bag, and handed it to Zhaoyao. Zhaoyao pulled out a 100 yuan bill. Keep the change. Treat yourself to a good dinner. Shen Buyu didn't take it. She only smiled. No need. Since we're acquainted, it's my treat. Stop clinging to your pride at a time like this. Then Shen Buyu glanced toward the roadside. Is that car of yours secondhand? Zhaoyao's face instantly stiffened. If your eyes are bad, get them treated. What nonsense are you spouting? One last piece of advice. If this man could abandon me, he can abandon you too. With that, she turned, got in her car, and drove away. She left Shen Buyu and me staring at each other in the cold wind. Shen Buyu laughed. How come she didn't say, "Don't look down on a young man just because he's poor"? Maybe she forgot. Then Shen Buyu took a bite of her sausage and looked into my eyes. Would you ever leave me? Not necessarily. Will we be together forever? Hard to say. While Shen Buyu was silent, I asked, how did you know his car was secondhand? Because I owned it when it was new. While we were trading barbs, the real stall owner returned. She was Shen Buyu's close friend. She had fallen out with her family after refusing an arranged marriage. Her parents cut off her bank cards, so she vowed to start her own business, selling sausages. She came closer, then cursed under her breath as she snatched the starched sausage back from Shen Buyu. Sister Buyu, while I was in the bathroom, you ate 6 sausages and didn't earn a single penny. Some idiot just bought sausages and didn't pay. Who am I supposed to count on? This is my hard-earned money. Zhaoyao must have gotten the news before coming to provoke us. She wasn't wrong. The Shen family really was going bankrupt. Zhaoyao and I had been neighbors since childhood. We went to school together and did our homework together. We kept each other company for 19 years. After high school, we left Jiangsheng together to attend college in Jingshi. Zhaoyao's family ran a small factory that was already considered well off in a small county town. My parents were both teachers, and they cared deeply about my grades. Since I was also an only child, most of the family's resources went toward me. But after starting college, I realized the bustle and luxury of a big city was beyond anything a small county town could offer. As a student, I could use my family's allowance to enjoy college life to the fullest. But what would happen after graduation? That was why I wanted to stay. When I chose to be with Shen Buyu, many people felt Zhaoyao had been wronged. They said I had chased wealth and dumped my childhood sweetheart. I admit the first part. Who doesn't like money? The Shen family's publicly traded company was in a completely different league from the Liu family's little factory. But I refused to accept that I dumped Zhaoyao. We had never even been together. Now that the Shen family faced bankruptcy, everyone avoided them. Meanwhile, Zhaoyao was no longer the same. Her family's factory had expanded, and they had caught the internet boom. They started selling products through live streams and made a fortune. I knew plenty of people were waiting to see me humiliated, laughing at my poor judgment for choosing the wrong person. Back in college, Shen Buyu studied law. I was in the foreign languages department, so we should have had nothing in common. The only reason I knew her was that she was Zhaoyao's roommate. After learning about her family background, I treated her with courtesy and respect. After all, befriending her could do me no harm. Ideally, we could become friends and expand my network. Unfortunately, she was always indifferent toward other people. Not cold, exactly, but never warm either. I thought that was kind of cool. During my freshman year, apart from attending classes. All I could think about was making money. I started with a part-time job selling potato noodles in the cafeteria. When Shen came to eat, the cafeteria was nearly empty. She was a little surprised to see me. "Are you short on money?" I had no reason to feel embarrassed, so I answered honestly, "Not really. I'm just making some extra cash." She nodded and changed the subject. "Which flavor is good?" "I like tomato." "Then I'll have that one." But after working in the cafeteria for only a month, I quit. There was no other reason. Too much work, too little pay. The boss had told me, "You can eat here for free. That way, you can save your living expenses." Easy for him to say, but I couldn't eat potato noodles for every meal. Before I left, I introduced him to a classmate looking for a part-time job. The next time I saw Shen was in the mailroom. She gave a soft laugh when she saw me. "You're pretty busy, juggling several jobs." "What? Even a rich heiress shops online and collects packages." She accepted the title without hesitation. A rich heiress is still human. Aren't you the type who can make one phone call and have everything delivered? She was speechless. Read fewer novels. A few days later, it was Zhaoyao's birthday. She invited many classmates, including Shen. One boy had dyed his hair white and sat beside Zhaoyao. I noticed him because his gift was a watch. I had also prepared a watch for Zhaoyao. His watch cost nearly 4,000 yuan. When everyone began wondering what I had given her, I looked at the 300 yuan watch in my hand and suddenly felt embarrassed to give it. Zhaoyao only gave a soft laugh. "I'll love anything Fing's gives me." After dinner, everyone started chatting. I didn't join in. I sat to one side and ate while watching them have fun. Maybe Zhaoyao got carried away and suddenly shouted, "Fang's, you studied vocal music. Why don't we have him perform for you?" As soon as she finished, everyone began cheering and urging me to sing for them. Watching Zhaoyao show me off made my face stiffen. I still force myself to maintain a polite smile. "My throat's a little sore today. I'll sing for you another time." But another one of Zhaoyao's roommates completely missed the hint. "Just sing something. Don't ruin everyone's fun." So I looked at Zhaoyao, hoping she'd rein in her roommate. I didn't want to sing in a setting like this. When I silently asked for help, Zhaoyao merely nudged me. "Fang's, it's my birthday today. Just do me this favor." At that, I stopped indulging her. "What makes you think I owe you that?" The private room instantly fell silent. Everyone exchanged awkward glances. Zhaoyao looked even more embarrassed, since I hadn't started this in the first place. I stood up without another thought. "Excuse me. I'm going to the bathroom." When I returned, everyone in the private room had started chatting again. Just as I was about to open the door, a voice from inside made me stop. "Zhaoyao, are you and Fang's together or not?" Through the crack in the door, I saw Zhaoyao's roommate looking curious. "Didn't you say you two were childhood sweethearts?" Zhaoyao explained with a smile. "We've been playing together since we were 3. Our parents have always wanted us to get together, but I haven't made up my mind yet." The white-haired boy spoke up. "That's just what the older generation wants. Knowing each other since childhood doesn't mean you have to be together. I saw Fang's working part-time in the cafeteria recently. He could do any job he wanted." "Why did he have to work in a cafeteria?" Zhaoyao frowned with concern. "Honestly, if he needed money, why didn't he tell me?" I suddenly had the urge to storm in and curse them out. Just then, Zhaoyao continued. "After the college entrance exams, Fang's confessed to me, but I turned him down. But our families are close, so I felt bad about making things awkward." Suddenly, a cold snort came from the corner. It was Shen, who had barely spoken all evening. She even offered some thoughtful advice. "What's the problem? If you don't like him, just reject him." Zhaoyao wasn't pleased. "You don't understand. Fang's and I have known each other for years. We're very close. It's fine. Maybe you're not as close as you think." "What does that mean? Why would you say that?" "Because I was talking nonsense." Zhaoyao fell silent. I gained a new understanding of Shen. She never played by the usual rules. After a long pause, Zhaoyao said helplessly, "Shen, you really know how to joke. So, do you actually like him or not?" Zhaoyao fell silent again. She always stayed safely in the role of a friend, unwilling to take things further, but unwilling to reject him outright. As Shen spoke, she walked over to Zhaoyao and patted her shoulder. She looked like she was offering heartfelt advice. "You'll meet many people during your 4 years of college. Trust me, you deserve someone better. As for Fang's, he's the best, but he's not right for you." Hearing that, I nearly burst out laughing outside the door. Shen Bai's rude remarks left everyone speechless. Zhaoyao's face stiffened as she tried to speak, but couldn't think of anything to say. Shen Bai ignored her and turned toward the door. My heart suddenly lurched. I hurried to hide around the corner in the hallway. As I tried to steady my breathing, I heard footsteps drawing closer. "Stop hiding. Come out." Of course, I didn't move. "If you don't come out, I'll tell them you were eavesdropping." So I had no choice but to come out. "Thanks for speaking up for me." "How will you thank me?" Seeing my puzzled expression, she said bluntly, "I want to hear you sing too. Would I be lucky enough to hear you?" "Sure. I'm performing at the New Year's Gala. You can come watch. Shen Buyu raised an eyebrow. Her entire face lit up with delight. Alright, I'm leaving. With that, she left without another word. I didn't go back inside either. I returned straight to campus. Zhaoyao hadn't lied. I really had liked her. She had treated me well in school, bringing me breakfast and buying me snacks. She even saved money to buy me gifts. My parents also tutored her. Back then, I always thought us getting together was only natural. So later, full of hope, I hinted to her. Now that we were at this point, no one should stop us from dating anymore, right? But a long silence was her only response. Eventually, she said, Fang's I don't think I handled this very well. I want to think about this again in a few months. I said I understood and didn't pressure her. But in the end, she never agreed to be with me. Though disappointed, I never asked again. Some things only require one person to make the first move. She still enrolled at the college we'd chosen together. During summer break, when I visited the Liu family, I accidentally overheard Zhaoyao talking with her mother. Zhaoyao's mother patiently tried to persuade her. I know you like Fang's, but you're both still young. One day, you'll understand that love can't pay the bills. An old classmate of your father's has a son. He has a stable, secure job. I'll give you his contact information. Try talking to him. If it doesn't work out, Fang's is a decent boy too. Zhaoyao agreed. Alright, I understand. You need to be more careful too. Keep a closer eye on Fang's. That boy has always been sharp. Be careful his heart doesn't start wandering once he's in college. Zhaoyao's mother didn't completely look down on me. She simply thought Zhaoyao deserved someone better. In other words, I was the backup plan. There were many students in the audience at the New Year's Gala. I didn't know whether Shen Buyu had come. Afterward, I went to the dressing room. Shen Buyu sent me a message. I'm waiting outside. I opened the door. The hallway was dimly lit. She was the only one there. Shen Buyu stood sideways to me, leaning against the wall. At the sound of the door opening, she lifted her head slightly. She had something between her teeth. My mouth moved faster than my brain. What kind of act are you putting on? Shen Buyu was stunning. Even as a woman, she could strike a pose like that without looking out of place. After I shattered her cool act with one sentence, she walked over, looking slightly uncomfortable. You just wait. I interrupted her first. Then, I suspiciously removed the object from beside her mouth. It was candy. I couldn't hold it in. I burst out laughing. Shen Buyu, are you pretending to be moody? She said nothing and stared at me coldly. As she continued staring without expression, my laughter slowly faded. After all, at that point, either Shen Buyu was too thick-skinned to feel embarrassed, or she was angry because I'd ruined her act. I stopped smiling and nervously apologized. Sorry, I was only joking. My mind was filled with worries about social etiquette. Was Shen Buyu actually angry? Would she hold a grudge? I was doomed. I hoped to build a connection, but I gained an enemy instead. But unexpectedly, Shen Buyu simply took the candy back and put it back in her mouth. Let me buy you dinner. Are you coming? Seeing that she wasn't angry, I sighed with relief. Isn't it too late? Zhaoyao went out with someone else. Are you sure you don't want to have dinner with me? What does that have to do with anything? In the end, we went to the school cafeteria. While we ate, Shen Buyu was still hung up on Zhaoyao. She's stringing you along. Can't you tell? I nodded. I know. You like her so much. Why haven't you given up? Not really. Actually, when I learned that she and her mother saw me as a backup plan, I'd already given up, but I had no intention of exposing them. Our families were neighbors, and falling out would have been awkward. Besides, was she stringing me along? Or was I stringing her along? Who could say? But I wasn't about to tell Shen Buyu that. She was Zhaoyao's roommate. What if she accidentally let it slip? Why do you care so much about Zhaoyao and me? Shen Buyu looked at me with complete honesty. I don't care about her. I just want her to reject you clearly. So, you won't keep hoping. And then I can swoop in. The air went silent. I took a bite of vegetables, then picked up a piece of meat. Only then did I jokingly change the subject. Zhaoyao didn't send you to fish for information, did she? Do I look like I'm that close to her? Aren't you? I don't understand female friendship. Thankfully, Shen Buyu didn't dwell on the question after that. After showering that night, I lay on my dorm bed, playing on my phone. Shen Buyu sent me several photos. They showed me singing on stage. I sincerely complimented her. You're good with the camera. I can take photos of you next time. Then she sent another photo. In it, I was wearing my military training uniform, probably on the sports field. But I didn't think I knew her back then. An idea occurred to me. So I deliberately messaged her. Has Zhaoyao gone back? It took her 30 seconds to reply. How would I know? I saved the photos first, then replied. I'm going to bed. Actually, I just didn't want to chat anymore. I wanted to play on my phone. But the next second, Shen Buyu's message left me stunned. Are you reporting your whereabouts to me? While I was still processing that, she sent several more messages. Will you report in every night from now on? Or should I report to you? Going to sleep so soon. Good night. I turned off my phone and pretended to sleep. My emotional intelligence wasn't exactly great, and I wasn't good at handling social situations. Several times, I didn't know how to respond to Shen Buyu. She was taking things too far. I was only pretending to be clueless. I wasn't actually stupid. When she said she wanted to swoop in, it wasn't for my sake. It was for Lu Zhaoyao's, though the first possibility seemed more likely. But from beginning to end, all I wanted was to become her friend. Shen Buyu and I came from completely different worlds. If we dated, we would probably break up. We might even end up as strangers for the rest of our lives. Friendship was different. Friends could be steady and lifelong. As long as I didn't go too far, I could probably still ask her for a favor. For example, helping me find a job in the capital after graduation. I was dreaming, but things developed far differently than I expected. Perhaps Lu Zhaoyao sensed Shen Buyu's intentions. That made her feel threatened. Or maybe she'd fallen out with the person she'd been dating. Either way, she thought of me again. In any case, she began frequently inviting me out to eat and to the movies. I didn't refuse. Whenever I was free, I accepted. Since Shen Buyu mistakenly thought I liked Lu Zhaoyao, I might as well let her keep thinking that. Maybe she'd fall for someone else soon enough. My willingness to go along with it gave Lu Zhaoyao a great deal of confidence. She believed I was deeply in love with her and felt completely secure. On my birthday, Lu Zhaoyao took me out to dinner. When she saw my new phone, she suddenly asked, "Did you get a new phone?" "Yeah. I bought it yesterday. It was a little expensive, but it was my birthday, and I just received my part-time wages, so I bought it." Lu Zhaoyao looked at me, seeming hesitant. "Fang's you. Smartphones all have pretty much the same features. You didn't need the latest model. Wasn't your old phone still working?" "My old phone didn't have enough storage. Besides, I paid for this one with my own part-time earnings." She still disagreed. "I think you should be more considerate of your family's finances. Don't spend so recklessly. Wouldn't it be better to save that money for things that matter?" "Lu Zhaoyao, that's enough. I didn't spend your money." When she saw that I was genuinely angry, she hurriedly changed the subject. Yes, you're right. I shouldn't have said that. It's your birthday. Let's go get something delicious." It was already late when I returned to the dorm. A gift box had appeared on my desk. Curious, I picked it up. "Who sent this?" "My roommate was playing a game. Shen Buyu gave it to you. She waited for you downstairs for a long time. I happened to bring it up for you. Dong Wang's ultimate isn't ready. My phone had died, and I had just turned it on. I immediately saw a message from Shen Buyu. "Happy birthday. I have a gift for you. You want to come downstairs and see what it is?" After reading the message, I asked my roommate, "Did she say anything else?" She asked where you went. I told her you went on a date with your childhood sweetheart, who interrupted my panicle. I opened the gift box. Inside was a blue tie. I looked up the same tie online. It cost 23,800 yuan. When I saw the price, I couldn't help cursing under my breath. There were so many rich people in the world. What would it hurt to add one more? I hadn't planned to accept Shen Buyu's gift. I genuinely wanted to keep things smooth between us and become her friend. But favors lose their value when you rely on them too often. If I accepted such an expensive gift now, how could I ask her to help me find a job later? I replied to Shen Buyu, "Sorry, my phone died. The tie is beautiful. I'm glad you like it. It's too expensive. I can't accept it. I'll return it tomorrow." Taking back a gift would make me look bad. I thought seriously about that. Someone like Shen Buyu clearly cared a lot about appearances. Social etiquette was exhausting. I decided to guilt trip her. "The gift is too expensive. I can't afford to repay you. Can you really stand by and watch me scrimp and save for a return gift?" "It's fine. My money is for feeding you. Your money is for preparing surprises for me." What the hell? Was our relationship becoming ambiguous? I didn't know what to say. I only replied with a smiling sticker. Shen Buyu responded to my smile with a long message. "I want to pursue you, so of course I should make an effort. You didn't force me to do anything, so you don't need to feel pressured." After reading it, I thought, pretending to be clueless now would be downright rude. It seemed that if I wanted a good job, I'd have to find another way. Shen Buyu wasn't just talking. The next morning, she brought me breakfast. I walked downstairs. The moment I saw her beautiful face, my morning grumpiness vanished. "Shen Buyu, Lu Zhaoyao is your roommate. Isn't this a little inappropriate? Lu Zhaoyao obviously doesn't know you're coming to see me. Then consider me rude." I couldn't help laughing every time she spoke. Whatever else could be said, I certainly got plenty of emotional value from her. Shen Buyu said confidently, "You two aren't even together. And even if you were, you could still break up. Besides, I think I'm better than her." When she saw me laughing again, she quickly explained, "Don't doubt me. At least I'm more loyal than she is. I used to think Shen Buyu was kind of cool, but now, I found her kind of cute." "Alright, more than kind of." I admitted that I was starting to fall for her. You couldn't blame me. Who wouldn't be swept off their feet? Besides, Shen Buyu was practically perfect in every way. But I was a realist. I always prepared for the worst. If I accepted her, I had no faith in how the relationship would end. If I rejected her, I'd regret letting her go. After all, I've been very happy around her. Shen Buyu pursued me for a long time. I never expected her to be so persistent. So before winter break, I told her, if you still feel the same after the new year, then we'll be together. On New Year's Eve, I didn't receive a New Year's greeting from her, and I was a little disappointed. Besides, some relatives always like playing matchmaker during the new year. They would inevitably introduce her to some handsome, accomplished men. Thinking that, I secretly felt relieved. Luckily, I hadn't invested too many feelings yet. But on the second day of the new year, something unexpected happened. Shen Buyu drove straight over to see me. I asked why she'd come. She got out of the car and told me, I came to tell you that I still like you. I didn't know whether to laugh or cry. I meant we'd talk after school started again. I can't wait. We can talk on our phones. She protested indignantly. You're being so half-hearted. So the first gave in, but I didn't dare bring her home. Instead, I had her stay at a hotel. Then I had an honest talk with her. If I told you I liked you, would you believe me? Why wouldn't I? What if I'm only after your family's money? That isn't greed. It's simply why you like me. I'm after you because you're smart, outstanding, handsome, kind, and ambitious. You really know how to flatter someone. Anyone would be happy to hear that. So I told myself, it's only a relationship. Don't put so much pressure on yourself. If we broke up before graduation, then I'd enjoy the fleeting happiness while it lasted. If we were still together after graduation, she could still help me find a better job. If she wanted to break up because of graduation, we'd already broken up. Asking her to recommend me for a job wouldn't be too much, right? That night, Zhaoyao and her parents came to visit my family. Little Zhu is still the best. I've always hoped Fang would become my son-in-law. I'd heard jokes like that all my life. My parents would usually laugh and go along with it. But this time, no one played along. My parents had seen the Liu family's attitude toward me. I took it in stride. Annie, I have a girlfriend. Please don't make jokes like that again. Zhaoyao was the first to cry out. What? When did you start dating someone? Today. Zhaoyao's parents immediately objected. Old Fang, we had an agreement. We were going to pair Zhu and Zhaoyao together. My mother smiled, trying to ease the tension. But I also said the children should decide for themselves. We wouldn't interfere. The relationship between our families still turned sour. Finally, my father asked, what? Did someone else turn your family down? So you only remembered my son now? The Liu family left looking thoroughly embarrassed. I didn't really blame them. After all, when my cousin went on blind dates, she also considered their family background, education, and whether they own a home. She met several people and took a long time choosing. Of course, the men were judging her too. Everyone wanted a partner with good prospects. There was nothing wrong with that. I understood, but they shouldn't turn around and blame me. After we returned to school, word spread that Shen Buyu and I were together. It wasn't a huge sensation. It was just that everyone who knew us found out. Zhaoyao didn't dare do anything to Shen Buyu. She went home and made a scene. Afterward, she often complained to others, saying Shen Buyu had stolen her man. Some people criticized me on Zhaoyao's behalf. Others said my choice was perfectly normal. But within 2 days at most, the gossip faded away. After all, everyone had their own lives to worry about. No one was going to keep hounding me. While dating in college, all I could think about was making money and settling down in Jingshi. Besides working part-time with my senior, I taught vocal lessons at an art school every weekend. Seeing how obsessed I was with money, Shen Buyu asked, want to try investing? Having grown up around it, she knew a little about finance. I learned quite a lot from her. She said I had talent, then gave me money to try it out. Don't be afraid. Any losses are on me. That instantly gave me confidence. I figured that, at worst, any profits could be hers too. Then I lost money. Luckily, I helped her break even the second time. During my internship, she asked if I wanted to work at the Shen Group. I refused. I didn't yet know how her parents felt about me. If we broke up, firing me would take only a word from them. I went to another company instead. I stayed up late and worked overtime to meet project deadlines, working my way up to team leader, then director. Most importantly, I made money. That way, even if Shen Buyu broke up with me, I could afford to remain in Jingshi. I could even bring my parents there. Shen Buyu didn't know that from the moment we got together. I had been preparing for our breakup. What I never expected was that she had never once considered breaking up. So we spent year after year in this strange but harmonious way, and we were quite happy. 2 years ago, during a business partnership, I met Shen Buyu's mother. She invited me to work for the Shen Group. After changing jobs, I moved in with Shen Buyu. It was closer to work. On moving day, she wrapped her arms around my waist from behind, resting her chin on my shoulder. What are we now? Roommates. I was honestly just joking, but Shen Buyu got angry. It wasn't until I was unpacking that I realized it. Shen Buyu handed me a glass of water. Have some water, roommate. I silently took it. A while later, Shen Buyu still wasn't over it. Dinner's ready. Roommate, want some grapes? Roommate, I apologized again and again. I was wrong. I'm sorry. Only much later did she calm down a little. Then she sidled over to me, trying not to make it obvious, and said with a straight face, when you say roommate, mean the kind who shares a bedroom. Actually, I prefer living alone, having my own space. I wasn't used to another person's clothes hanging in my closet, or having someone lying beside me when I slept. So, one night, after we'd finished our business, I made a rather outrageous request. Shen Buyu, would you sleep in the next room? Do you hear yourself? What am I, a concubine serving an emperor? I can't stay the night. I was wrong. When I first met Shen Buyu, I thought she was so aloof. But when she pursued me, she seemed so passionate. Yet once we got together, I discovered she really did get angry easily. One night, while buying grilled sausages, we happened to run into Zhaoyao. She only bought a few sausages and exchanged a few words with me. But Shen Buyu's face darkened all the way home, and even after I came out of the shower. She didn't say a single word. She simply read in silence. When I came out, she glanced up at me, but said nothing. I knew perfectly well that she was sulking again. It reminded me of our first argument. Back then, I was busy making money at my part-time job, and forgot I was supposed to take her to the movies. She waited for me in vain for a long time. She called me, but I missed it. After learning I was busy working, she ignored me all night. Knowing I was at fault, I didn't dare speak to her. I even thought we were giving each other the silent treatment. The next day, I went to teach at the art school as usual. But after work, to my surprise, Shen Buyu appeared at the school's entrance. When she saw me, she looked utterly aggrieved. You ignored me for a whole day and night. I thought you were angry. Can't you comfort me when I'm angry? Besides, it's not like I'd take my anger out on you. Only then did I relax and cautiously ask, then, can I take you out to eat? Now, let's go. Shen Buyu was quick to get angry, but also easy to soothe. When she was sulking, she would sit off to the side without speaking, and many times I didn't even notice. But that wasn't my fault. Most people who want comforting look pitiful. But Shen Buyu? She'd sit there looking smug and ice cold, looking completely normal. Coming back to myself, I glanced at the person still pretending, then handed her an orange. Shen Buyu put down her book and peeled it. Then she broke off half for me. Shen Buyu, you're so spoiled. Is this little thing really worth all that? How long has it been since Zhaoyao and I even saw each other? Why wouldn't it be? And I suspect you're playing with my feelings. That left me stunned. Had this really become that serious? Isn't it serious? I asked if we'd be together forever. How did you answer? Was that even a human answer? I remembered my earlier answer. Hard to say. So that was why she was angry. But the future really was hard to predict. I never made promises lightly. If you ever treat me badly, I'll definitely leave you. She nodded, answering without hesitation. I'll always treat you well. I swear. Next week, I'm going home to see my parents. There's also a class reunion. High school classmates. Zhaoyao was your classmate too. Yes, but she might not go. And if she does, she probably hates me now. But I have to go. Quite a few of those classmates were my father's students. He didn't want to hang around with young people, so he insisted I go. I'm going to. What are you going to do there? Just stay here and wait for me. It was no big deal if I ran into Zhaoyao. But if Shen Buyu met her, there could be trouble. After I refused, Shen Buyu just kept staring at me, without saying a word. Whenever things didn't go her way, she'd stare straight at me like this. I suspected this was her unique way of acting cute. After all, she wouldn't soften her voice to coax me, or play weak and pitiful. And if I didn't agree, she could stare forever. Under that stare, I gave in at once. Fine, I'll take you. I wondered if, once she started at the firm, she'd stare people down like this there too. The thought made me laugh. Shen Buyu looked completely baffled. What are you laughing at? I told her what I'd been wondering. She answered confidently. I trust my abilities. No one can out-argue me. Shen Buyu came home with me. Zhaoyao's family had moved away long ago. The place next door was vacant. That was for the best. Living so close would have been awkward. My parents had supported my choice to build a career in Jing City. They had even planned to fall back for me. At worst, I could return to Zhang City and become a teacher. If nothing else, teaching was what my family knew best. For ordinary people, mistakes can be costly, but my parents had prepared for me in advance. Being born into a family like mine, I was already luckier than most people. My parents supported me learning an artistic skill, so I'd have another way to make a living. I got good grades, attended a decent university, and found a decent job. Together with the resources my parents left me, I could live out my life in stability. But though I loved vocal music, it could only be a hobby. I could never become a famous musician. When choosing my university major, I followed my parents' advice. I chose the safest major, one unlikely to go wrong. One wrong choice could waste years of hard study. Whether I liked it didn't matter. As long as it led to work and paid the bills, that was enough. At first, Shen Buyu taught me finance and investing. Later, She realized her own knowledge wasn't enough, so she enrolled me in courses with professionals to teach me. When it came to practical trading, she told me, "Don't be afraid of losing money. I can afford it." I knew Shen Buyu was using her resources to make me better, to help me rise higher. I was no longer afraid to take risks, because she had my back. In high school history, we studied the Tang dynasty. At that age, we'd watched too many romance dramas, so we linked everything to love. After class, some classmates discussed whether Tang Gaozong's feelings for Wu Zixin were love. I still remembered Lu Zhaoyao's answer. Lizzie was pretty useless. Back then, I only cared about memorizing questions and key facts. I didn't think much beyond that. Who cared about love? As long as I could answer questions and get marks. Now, thinking back on that question, Lizzie ruled the empire. If he merely gave you things, that wouldn't count as love. But he was willing to use his own resources, willing to share his power with Wu Zixin. China's only female emperor was remarkable, and Lizzie truly loved her. On a whim, I asked Shen Buyu, "Do you think Lizzie and Wu Zixin truly loved each other?" "I do." "Why? They had 6 children together. How could they not be in love?" "They must have been madly in love, right?" At the reunion, everything was pleasant at first. My classmates kindly asked after my father's health, and I answered them politely. That lasted until Lu Zhaoyao arrived late. She was with a tall, thin man, not the same one as last time. When Lu Zhaoyao acted as if she hadn't seen me, I breathed a sigh of relief. I just wanted to finish dinner and leave. Our classmates looked at me, then at her, and wisely said nothing. Lu Zhaoyao was doing well these days, so naturally, people flattered her over dinner. "Sister Yao, you're doing great and your future brother-in-law is so handsome. When are you getting married? Don't forget to invite us." The words had barely faded when Lu Zhaoyao sneered. "What's the use of being handsome? Men these days just want to find someone rich." Lu Zhaoyao's boyfriend had gone to the restroom, so she was probably saying that for my benefit. But every man at the table looked unhappy. Yet Lu Zhaoyao didn't seem to notice. Someone hurried to smooth things over. "Don't say that. You two are such a perfect match. You've got both love and a career. Are you trying to show us up?" As if consoling herself, Lu Zhaoyao sighed. "Yes, once you have a career, love follows naturally." Sister Yao's right. There are plenty of handsome men out there. At worst, just replace him. What was she trying to convince herself of? Shen Buyu spoke neither loudly nor softly. She sounded as if she were speaking to me, but everyone at the table heard her. I was just about to respond when the door was suddenly slammed open. Lu Zhaoyao's boyfriend had returned. His face was dark with anger. "Replace me, then. If you won't, I will." Lu Zhaoyao hadn't expected him to overhear her, but she ignored him to save face. "Lu Zhaoyao, who doesn't want to find someone rich? I'm no exception. But understand this, I'm not begging to be with you. Didn't you pursue me because I was handsome? Does that somehow make you nobler than me?" As they argued, everyone present was at a loss. Some tried to mediate, while others tried to comfort him. Shen Buyu had been cracking sunflower seeds, but suddenly brushed the shells from her hand and clapped conspicuously. "Well said." The room fell silent at once. She had everyone completely stunned. But Shen Buyu seemed oblivious to the awkwardness. Instead, she asked me, "Wasn't he right?" "He was absolutely right," I said pointedly. "Buddy, there are plenty of rich people too. We can replace them as well. Everyone has desires, but some people are honest about them. Others are hypocrites." The man stormed out. Lu Zhaoyao looked upset, but still ran after him. By then, no one was enjoying the reunion, except Shen Buyu, who seemed the happiest of all. That night, Shen Buyu was gaming. Her face was grim. "Is our jungler insane? They keep stealing my minion waves." Shen Buyu was skilled at playing mid lane. She loved the feeling of precisely and decisively unleashing a mage's full combo. I leaned over and took a look. "She's playing well. Let her take it." "Am I not playing well? Why should I give my minions to someone else?" "It's fine. You can always go take waves from top lane. Why not take the marksman's waves? The marksman already has it rough. Leave them alone." You feel sorry for him. In the end, she didn't take anyone else's minions. She cleared out half the junglers' camps instead. Shen Buyu's game username happened to be my childhood nickname. When I saw it, I smiled at the screen. "That nickname, you can call me that in real life too." She gave me a cool glance. "Childish. I won't." She was obviously just too embarrassed to say it. Just then, Shen Buyu's sister, Xinyue, sent me a message. "Work with me. What my sister can give you, I can give you too." She had been contacting me ever since I returned to the capital. Just then, Shen Buyu finished her game. She saw the message and snorted coldly. Since when was she my sister? How dare she call me that? Xinyue was Shen Buyu's so-called dear half-sister on her father's side, and the Shen family was on the verge of bankruptcy. 2 years earlier, I was still with my old company. We were collaborating with the design studio, so I met Director Zhu, a renowned fashion designer in China. The negotiations went smoothly, and she was very pleased. Afterward, I was about to see Director Zhu to her car when Shen Buyu arrived to pick me up. I had promised to see a movie with her that night. Director Zhu gave me a strange look. Your girlfriend. I smiled politely and admitted it. When Shen Buyu came closer, Director Zhu's smile grew even stranger. Are you still coming home with me for dinner tonight? With question marks practically spinning over my head. Shen Buyu called out, Mom. Right after that, Director Zhu wore an expression that said she had known all along. You to have fun. I still have work to do. After Director Zhu left, I was still completely baffled. Shen Buyu, however, acted as if nothing had happened. The movie's about to start. You can watch it by yourself. With that, I crouched by the roadside. Don't worry. Our mom is very open-minded. Later, when Shen Buyu's mother sought me out, I panicked a little. I wondered whether, if she offered me a check, I should break up with Shen Buyu. Then I thought, if she truly disliked me that much, she probably wouldn't give me money at all. Director Zhu spoke gently, but every movement still showed the savvy competence of a seasoned businesswoman. I remember you studied foreign languages in college. Why did you enter this field after graduation? Do you enjoy business? I like making money. At least you're honest. Would you be interested in working for Shen Corporation? You can name your salary. I was genuinely confused. She hadn't come to drive me away after all. I got no check, and I didn't break up with Shen Buyu either. After changing companies, I became even more cautious. I could tell Director Zhu was evaluating me. I had guessed at her intentions before, but I didn't dare read too much into them. Shen Buyu often complained to me about her parents. Her parents were true love, while she was just an accident. When she was little, the family would go out together. Her parents would stroll ahead, while an assistant held her hand and hurried after them. Her father would buy her a little cake, persuade her to stay home and do her homework, then take her mother out on a date. Though she complained about it, it was obvious she had actually been very happy. So, when Director Zhu told me that Shen Buyu's father had an illegitimate daughter, I could hardly believe it. That illegitimate daughter was Xinyue, and she wasn't even a newborn. She was only 2 years younger than Shen Buyu. Shen Buyu's father had always known she existed. He had raised her under a friend's name. Director Zhu had met Xinyue too. She had even given her a red envelope during Chinese New Year. Because of that, she had never suspected that the girl was her husband's illegitimate daughter. Hearing this, I felt chilled to the bone. Shen Buyu's father was incredibly good at keeping up appearances. Director Zhu said, Shen Buyu is my only child. I never expected her to carry the family business forward. I've indulged her in everything since she was little. I thought that whatever she chose to do, I could still ensure she lived a comfortable life. I looked into Xinyue. She's very clever. Shen Jiandong has carefully trained her for over 20 years. Shen Buyu might not be able to beat her. Shen Corporation grew with the help of my dowry. I won't let Shen Jiandong have his way. Director Zhu had never interfered in the company's business. Yet she hired me at Shen Corporation to evaluate me, then used my status as Shen Buyu's boyfriend to pressure her father into promoting me. I never quite understood it. If they had never expected Shen Buyu to take over the family business, why go to all this unnecessary trouble with me? Now I finally understood why. Shen Buyu could walk away from the Shen family's assets, but Xinyue couldn't have them. I asked Director Zhu, does Shen Buyu know? For once, worry clouded her face. I've thought about telling her, but I don't know how. Yes. What could she possibly say? Your happy family was a lie. Your father's love for you was a lie. He wants to leave what belongs to you to someone else. An illegitimate daughter doesn't simply appear out of nowhere. Shen Buyu had been deceived for more than 20 years. She might even know her, perhaps having once considered her a friend. Thinking about it, my heart ached for her. All right. Her pain absolutely broke my heart. When Shen Buyu learned the truth, she was far calmer than I had imagined. That weekend, I suddenly had some work to handle. So I used Shen Buyu's computer. That's how I discovered plenty of dirt on Shen Jiandong. I didn't know when Shen Buyu had found out, or what she had felt while gathering so much evidence. Every week, she still went home for dinner as usual, drinking tea and playing chess with her father. What's wrong? Nothing. I was worried you'd be upset. She had entered without me noticing. Then she glanced at the computer and realized what I had seen. What's the big deal? I'm an adult. There's nothing I can't handle. Then she fell silent. After a few quiet seconds, Shen Buyu suddenly asked me, Fang's, do you love me? I love you. I love you like crazy. But what if I no longer had the family background you valued? Her question reminded me that part of the reason I was with her was because of her family background. I immediately understood her insecurity. I explained to her, who says you can love someone for only one reason? Just as you might love me for being smart and handsome, you might also love me for being kind and generous. Fang's, you're so full of yourself. Then besides my family background, what else do you love about me? You have so many good qualities. You're genuine with everyone. You have strong values, and you're responsible. Most importantly, every day with you makes me happy. One sentence from you can make me laugh. I want to be with you tomorrow too. I don't want to spend a single day apart from you for the rest of my life. So, you fell in love with my fascinating soul. I caressed her face and answered honestly. You could say that. I love your looks too. So which do you love more, my soul or my looks? I froze. If I answered badly, she'd get angry again. Aren't they both you? Fair point. After Shen Bai's parents completely fell out, Shen Jianong placed Shen Xinyue in the company, making his position perfectly clear. He had once been involved with Shen Xinyue's mother, but got together with Director Zhu for her money. After Shen Xinyue joined the company, I was suspended. I had been handling two major projects. With me gone, the partner company stalled and refused to cooperate. Shen Xinyue had just taken the position and was eager to prove herself. She invested in a major project, hoping to make a name for herself. She wanted me to know the company could run perfectly well without me. Unfortunately, the project was halted again. At that moment, Shen Xinyue felt as though the entire world was against her. Those partner companies weren't doing it for me. They were showing respect to Director Zhu. When she was young, Shen Bai's mother had been a famous heiress in the capital. How could she not have connections like these? Unfortunately, Shen Jianong didn't understand, or rather, he looked down on his own wife. The company lost a great deal of money for every day the project was delayed. It wasn't a major problem. Shen Jianong had money and could afford to wait. However, Shen Bai produced evidence against him. As a result, his assets were frozen. At the same time, Director Zhu formally demanded a divorce. The evidence was conclusive. He had no grounds to refuse. With the funds tied up, the situation became serious. He eventually gave in and went to negotiate with Director Zhu. I know you're angry with me, but Shen Corporation is the result of both our life's work. You don't want to watch it fall apart either. Coming to me won't help. I have no money. Your studio has always been profitable. How could you have no money? Shen Jiandong investigated it himself, but there really wasn't any money. I have the money. He trembled with rage. You started protecting yourself from me that early. Don't make it sound so ugly. Zhaoyao and Fang's you have been together for so long. As her mother, asking you for a little bride price isn't unreasonable, is it? Shen Bai's parents divorced. Her father had no choice but to compromise. After all, if Shen Corporation really went bankrupt, he'd be burdened with enormous debts. Walking away with nothing wasn't realistic, but it still cost him most of his wealth. Shen Xinyue was fired, and I was promoted. Director Zhu took over Shen Corporation, but I still managed the company's affairs. I told her, I feel like I've married into your family as a live-in son-in-law. She immediately ran with that. So, should we get married? Once we set the wedding date, Zhaoyao heard the news and came to the capital to find me. I've been so busy lately that I'd completely forgotten about her. She stopped me outside the company. Shen Buyu immediately called security. Have her removed. I didn't want to make a public scene and embarrass myself, so I told her to wait in the car. I didn't know why Zhaoyao had come to see me, but I had something bottled up and needed to get it off my chest. Zhaoyao had lost her former arrogance. Thanks you. Shen Corporation didn't go bankrupt. You must be very pleased, right? What do I have to be pleased about? You made the right choice. People need to be realistic. For the sake of profit, you were able to let go of years of feelings. The Shen family is certainly wealthy. I can't compete with that. I laughed in exasperation. Zhaoyao, family background and money are indeed important, but that doesn't mean hard work is completely worthless. Even if Shen Corporation really collapsed, so what? With my experience over the years, I could still find a job at another company and earn a respectable salary. The same goes for Shen Buyu. Our lives wouldn't change much either. You study the same field as Shen Buyu. She's now a leading professional in the field. What have you done all these years? She retorted angrily. Because I wasn't as lucky as she was. I wasn't born into a good family. I admitted it. Shen Buyu's smooth path to where she was today had a great deal to do with the Shen family. But your family wasn't exactly poor, was it? If you pursued that dream, even if you hadn't achieved as much, I would still have admired you. But you didn't. You once told me that it was your dream. Yet after graduation, you never pursued a career related to your field. The Liu family's success today was entirely thanks to her father's foresight and his ability to seize the opportunity. She had already been given more than enough. Yet she still complained that fate was unfair. Zhaoyao finally lowered her head in defeat. Her voice seemed to carry a hint of hope. Thanks you. If I'd confessed my feelings to you after high school, would I be the one marrying you now? I shook my head. We would have ended up together, but we wouldn't have stayed together forever. Before college, your mother set you up on a blind date. During your freshman year, you flirted with another bleached blonde guy. During your sophomore year, you got together with a younger student. That was because I cut her off. You want to say it was because we weren't together. Fine. Let's pretend none of that happened. Zhaoyao, I wanted to stay in the capital after graduation. Would you have stayed and worked hard alongside me? Or would you have returned to Jiangsheng, to your comfort zone? She said nothing. There was nothing wrong with returning to Jiangsheng. There might have been opportunities to build a career there too. Our goals were simply different. We were destined to go our separate ways. Even if we'd returned to Jiangsheng, and gotten married, we would have ended up divorced. Your parents looked down on me. They would have done everything they could to guard against me, terrified that I'd take even the slightest advantage of your family. Once the Liu family reached its current success, you might not have loved me anymore. After all, when the Liu family was still just a small factory, you were already able to abandon me for someone else. Every word left her speechless. Finally, I sneered. You were never faithful to me. You've had so many boyfriends, yet you still put on the show of devotion for me. It disgusts me. And don't date two people at once. That disgusts me even more. When she bought grilled sausages before, a male college student was with her. At a class reunion, she brought another guy. One was in the capital, and the other was in Jiangsheng. She really had no shame. I'd said my piece, so I returned to the car. Shen Buyu looked at me with a smile. Bless you two. I'm almost starting to root for you as a couple. Do you want me to hit you? Her expression changed at once. I was wrong. I asked her that question again. Shen Buyu, will you always treat me well? I will. Then I'll